We just got in Dual's brand new DMCPA11BT oversized 10.1-inch media receiver, and it's pretty dope. This unique double DIN features a 10.1-inch adjustable display, capacitive touchscreen, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, coming in close to $400. As interesting as it is, it's not without its flaws. Stay tuned at the end of our video for testing and my con list. Inside the box is an owner's manual, mounting hardware, mounting brackets, wireless remote control, external Bluetooth microphone, side mount covers, backup camera harness with trigger, RCA AV input harness, wiring harness with steering wheel control input, RCA preamp output harness, optional trim panel, double DIN stereo chassis, and the 10.1-inch display. The rear connections include USB pigtail, radio antenna, Bluetooth microphone, and wiring harness, plus all the inputs for the various included harnesses. This is what the stereo will look like with everything plugged into the back. Let's start with the adjustable mount. The DMCPA11BT has a mount similar to the Sony XAV-AX8000s, except not as sophisticated. It has 3 sections of screw holes, like the AX8000s, but obviously this engineer went to Arizona State and Sony's went to MIT. Just jokes, people, just jokes. The mount on the DMCPA will only let you adjust the tilt angle, whereas the Sony allows you to adjust the height, depth, and tilt. However, it is fairly easy to adjust the angle. First, you'll have to connect the inputs on the back of the display to the harness that is sticking out of the chassis of the radio. Then use a small screwdriver and the included screws to mount the display to the stereo. Dual gives you 7 different tilt options, from -10 degrees, -5 degrees, vertical, or 0 degrees, 5 degrees, 9 degrees, 14 degrees, and 18 degrees. Each screwing option is detailed in the instruction manual and will require 2 to 3 screws per side, depending on the angle selection. The 10.1-inch display features a capacitive touchscreen, similar to your smartphone. However, it is not 1080p HD, kind of a bummer. It has a resolution of 1024 by 600, which is better than the usual 800 by 480 and can get close to 720p. The command panel on the front of the stereo below the display features voice assist, micro SD card slot, mode, band, USB input, and home. This unit does not have a disc slot. The overall design of the operating system is solid. I think Dual was heavily influenced by Sony again with their OS on their XAV-AX models. Big fonts, big graphics, simplicity, I dig it. The radio tuner features 30 presets, 18 FM, 12 AM. But I'm not a huge fan of the rotary dial being kind of like underneath and deeper than the display itself. First world problems, I know, but it's the only way to adjust volume if you don't have steering wheel controls. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are essential for new stereos. They both require a USB connection on this stereo. They cannot operate wirelessly. The connection will also charge your devices. Get access to your music, audio, messaging, and the navigation apps, which all look great on the massive display. Video apps do not transfer, so no YouTube, no Netflix, nothing like that. Both softwares work great with voice commands for Siri and Google Assistant. Bluetooth is pretty straightforward. You can connect multiple devices to the unit, stream your music, plus make and receive calls hands-free. Use the micro SD card slot or USB input to playback MP3 and FLAC audio files. Both work with up to a 64GB card or drive. It is possible to screen mirror a device to the DMCPA11BT with its RCA AV inputs. All you would need is one of our mirroring kits for iPhone or Android. I'll put a link for both options in the video bio below. This will effectively get you anything you want onto your stereo: YouTube, Netflix, HBO, Tinder, whatever. Be aware that this is a safety hazard. For audio settings, you get an 8-band customizable EQ with 8 presets. The only display settings are brightness and dimmer. The DMCPA11BT also has some solid power. It meets CEA 2006 power standard specifications with an RMS power output of 16 watts by 4 channels at 4 ohms with less than 1% distortion. But let's test this out for ourselves and see what it can actually do. The first test we ran was 2 channels driven at 4 ohms, 14.4 volts, 40 hertz. We're using our new audio precision to generate our signal and to measure distortion. At volume 39, our HP8903B audio analyzer picked up 21.72 watts RMS. The audio precision read just under 1% distortion and 9.26 volts of output. Our AMM1 read 18 watts RMS. We got 9.3 volts on the Lumi, and we drew 5.11 amps of current. Next, 2 channels, 14.4 volts, 1 kilohertz. At volume 38, our HP8903B picked up 17.5 watts RMS. The audio precision read 0.69% distortion and 8.3 volts of output. Our AMM1 read 13 watts RMS. We got 8.3 volts on the Lumi, and we drew 4.54 amps of current. We then raised the amplitude to soft clipping at 1%. We got 21.3 watts on the HP with 9.1 volts of output. The AMM1 picked up 15 watts, 9.18 volts on the Lumi, and we drew 4.92 amps of current. Then we went single channel driven, 14.4 volts, 1 kilohertz. At volume 38, our HP8903B picked up 18.15 watts RMS. The audio precision read 0.75% distortion and 8.45 volts of output. Our AMM1 read 13 watts. We got 8.4 volts on the Lumi, and we drew 2.76 amps of current. We raised the amplitude to soft clipping at 1% distortion. We got 21.67 watts on the HP with 9.24 volts of output. The AMM1 picked up 16 watts, 9.27 volts on the Lumi, and we drew 2.94 amps of current. Single channel driven, 40 hertz. At volume 39, our HP picked up 22.42 watts RMS. 1.1% distortion and 9.39 volts of output on the audio precision. Our AMM1 read 19 watts. We got 9.43 volts on the Lumi, and we drew 3.04 amps of current. Our final test was on frequency response using the preamp outputs. We placed our phonic alongside our plotted graph to show the rise and fall after 6,000 hertz. The pre-outs tested at 4.57 volts with 0.29% distortion, and that's after raising the EQ. Let's go over my cons. The biggest con to me is neither the USB input or SD card slot can play back video files or JPEG images. Only MP3 and FLAC audio files. Kinda whack. Also, the USB and SD card covers were easy to open but kind of a pain to pull back down. There are no other background or wallpaper options besides what comes standard. Although the touchscreen is capacitive, the OS can get a little slow and briefly lag here and there. Plus, it's not HD. And finally, screen mirroring slightly stretches to accommodate the wide screen. Be sure to go to qualitymobilevideo.com to get all of your car audio and video gear with us today. Links for everything in the bio below. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click that like button, but if you hate it, click the dislike button. Join the conversation below and subscribe to our channel if you're new. Thanks for watching.